Hey guys, so this is my first video on this channel. A lot of you know me as the Creative Dork. I make handmade polymer clay cutters for all of you polymer clay artists. I also make jewelry from polymer clay and also make handmade glass beads for my studio here at home, and I put them in the jewelry as well. But I created this channel because I've got way too many beads. And when I say I got a lot of beads, I could definitely open up a bead store. I have been collecting since I was a child, and I just love beads. It's an addiction. I get it. And I have no problem saying that, so you can call me a bead hoarder or whatever. But I'm getting to the point in my life that I need to clear some of this stuff out, because if anything happens to me, I don't want any of my children to have to deal with all these beads, the pricing, how much is this worth. Half of them aren't even labeled. They're, in boxes and stuff, so they have no idea what they are. And so I created this channel to help me hopefully design more things out of all the beads that I have, and then throw them on a website and sell them if they're good enough, and kind of relieve some of the pressure. The other thing I do is I do subscribe to a bunch of bead boxes, which it seems like I have more time that I work than I do to actually play. I have Bargain Bead Box, I have Sam's Bead Box, I have 2 Potomac bead boxes, the kit and the treasure edition, which I think I'm going to let go of the treasure edition because I haven't really been impressed with it. I can never figure out what to make with what they throw in there. And every other month there is another bead club called the Gemstone Orphanage, and that's what I'm working on this. So this is a subscription box that's every other month, and it's really cool what they do. They just they give you a gemstone, they take a photo, and you're kind of adopting a gemstone. Now this is the in-between box, so you don't have to be a subscriber to get an in-between box, but they sell out really quick. So this was the in-between box, which is called Tween, and obviously it has everything to do with Halloween. So I order that, and I order the finding packs that come with it, because if you order from them, you have the choice of ordering the beads. But if you want to add findings and stuff like that, I think it was another $5 or $10, I don't even remember, and it has findings to go with it. So I don't do unboxings. I think everybody does unboxings, and everybody's jumped on the bandwagon. And there's probably like maybe 15, 20 people that do the unboxings of the same boxes. So I don't want to do that, but I know not very many people do this one. So I'm going to do that today, but I normally don't unbox. I can tell you what I've got, and I just want to make. So anyways, you get your important stuff. So it tells you are now a proud owner of an orphan gemstone. And it kind of tells you about the gemstone and what it is and what it relates to. So this is your actual adoption paper. Okay, so it's an adoption certificate. This is Marnie, and it's a black sardonyx. And it gives you the size. It's oval, it's undrilled, and I don't know how to use cabs, so I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet, but it's absolutely beautiful. And it tells you this is the stone of courage, and it gives you the whole story behind it with the ancient Romans and stuff like that. So I'm going to try and watch some videos on how to maybe put some seed beads around it or wire wrap it. So this one I'm going to put aside. But anyways, this is the adoption certificate. And then the rest of it is basically what we have in our boxes. So, and I don't even know if I pronounced that right. Sardonyx. I'm thinking that's what it is, but it could have a little flip to it that I don't know. So we've got a bunch of them, which is right here. We have a nice little strand of that, so that'll match the cab. And then we have some onyx. And we have some hematite beads. So there's a couple strands of those. We got some round ones in different sizes. That looks like 8mm, 6mm, and 4. We have some hematite tubes, and this is with an AB finish. and hearts. And we have a bunch of these teardropped hematite beads. Oh, these are my favorite. I don't know about you guys, but I love these lantern beads. These are just so pretty. And because they're faceted, they give off such a beautiful sparkle. So I really like that one. And then we have some Hishi beads that are also hematite. And these are some tube beads, little squares and stuff like that. We have some cats. I've got 3 of these. I wish they would put them in even count. That way you can make a pair of earrings, a couple pair of earrings out of them instead of having that odd man out. I have some owls. These are really, really pretty. So these are check owls in jet azzurro. That's the color. So one you have like a blue side, the other one's kind of a purple blackish side. And then we have a couple of different things in here. I like these. I'm trying to think of what these are. You know, I'm not really sure what these are. These are just crystal. And then we have these like coin beads. All of these have some kind of a AB finish on them. Then we have some skull beads, and these are like an apricot or a light topaz AB finish, and we have a clear AB finish. And then we have some druck beads, and these are two-toned in black and gray. And then we have some more gemstones. Okay. And there's a blue moon glass cabochon that's glow in the dark. I have not seen that one yet. Oh, that must be that. That's another cab. I don't know how to use cabs. And these are just some miscellaneous lentils. We have a barrel and a couple of disc beads. And I really, really like this agate. Agate is probably my favorite stone. And look at the banding that we have in that. It's just so pretty. I don't know how I'm going to use that, but we'll figure it out. And then we've got this little strand of pumpkins. Okay, so that's all the beads. And now let's see what we have in the findings. Okay, so we have some hematite stars. I'm just going to lay those out. So you have silver on one side, and then you have your AB coating on the other side. Oh, maybe not. So some of these are all silver, and some of these have the AB coating on them. Put that right there. Ooh, we've got some really pretty AB coated chain. That is cool. I love chain that's like that. Look at all the colors in it. Okay, so definitely going to have to use that one. Looks like we have more chain, but just not as much. Excuse me. So this is just a regular curb chain. I like that. I wish I had a whole strand of those. Excuse me. All of a sudden got something tickling my nose here. So I have a couple bales. One is silver, one is that AB finish. I could put that on the actual cab, but I don't want to be gluing anything on it. So we have this little bat, and it's an Eon plated bat pendant connector. I don't know if it's something in the box, but all of a sudden I am really sneezy. And we have the same thing in some leatherback earrings. A couple more clasps. We have two regular lobster claw clasps and a toggle clasp. That's nice to have. And then it looks like we have a bunch of miscellaneous jump rings, which is really cool because I could use that. I might have to order some more of these. Those are really cool. And then it looks like we got a bag of charms. So we have, look at that, a witch's hat. That is so cute. That is so cute. I have to admit, I like those. I only have one skull, which again, I wish they'd put a set. I know they're charms, but mostly people use the charms to go into earrings. So we have a really cute little Halloween house. We have a pumpkin. We have a cat, a bat, a ghost, another skull. We have an owl, another haunted house, and another skull. So at least we have a set of those. These are all just single charms. Alrighty, so now the hardest part for me, obviously, is putting these together into something. So I don't know if I want to use these black beads because I'd like those to go with the cab. So I'm just going to set that in the box below. And I don't know, guys. Again, I'm not a seasoned jewelry maker. I do make them, but I don't consider myself a pro at jewelry design, which is probably why I have so many beads, because I could look at them all day and still not figure out what to do with them. But today is a new day, and I promised myself that I would start using some of these beads. And it could be a simple pattern, it could be an intricate pattern. You know, as long as I just try and get out there, then we're all good, right? Okay, so I know with this bat, I'm going to want to hook it up. So I'm going to grab 2 jump rings here. Oops. And I like that these are very hard. So it's not going to be something that's going to open up real easy. Okay, so we've got the bat taken care of. So we're going to kind of move some of this stuff out of my way here. And then I'm going to have to decide if I want to wire wrap all of these. Or, God, I love this chain. See, I could either wire wrap it, I mean, literally, if you wanted to make a real simple necklace, you could just use that bat and that's it. I would like to add some black, maybe some stars to it, and a couple tubes. I don't want to use the hearts. That would take away the vibe from the bat. So again, this is where I struggle. Obviously, orange, not going to work in there. Let's see, I got 3 of these as well. I thought I had 4. I only have 3. Oh, no, I did have 4. Okay. So, do I want to put some grays in there, or do I just want to put some hematite in there, or just string this up? And then what color chain do I use? So I have some artistic wire here. And that looks like that would match pretty darn good. It's 22 gauge, so that's not really bad. Usually I use 24 when I wrap. But let's see what happens if we just start wrapping some of these little tube beads and stuff like that. Let's see if something sparks, because as of right now, nothing sparks except throwing a chain on this and leaving it alone. So we're just going to wire wrap a bunch of this. And the reason I love using 24 gauge is I can wire wrap with my hands. I don't need a tool to help. But because this is 22, I need to use that in order to make them straight. Okay, and I usually don't clean up my wires until they're on the bead, because it gives me something to grip. Okay, so I don't like that just on by itself, and I don't think I'm going to like this. Unless I find a little bead to put in there. And I don't think the hematite would work, but we're going to pull them out anyways. If I can get out with not having to use anything in my stash, that's the kind of bead box I like, to where I can just open it up and start designing without having to pull any of my stuff out, because half of my stuff doesn't match anyways, if that makes sense. So it's nice to be able to just have all that. I have a feeling that one's going to be a little too big. And then we have these little hishi beads. So let's see if those work better. If not, I will have to pull some of my beads. I just don't know if I have hematite in a smaller version. Okay, so we could do it that way as well. No, I don't like that. Let's do this again and see what happens. I guess that's not too bad. So now we're just going to wrap this on top. And I have 2 wraps, so I'm going to bring that down a little bit more. Straighten that out just a little bit. Kind of interesting right here. Okay, so this is when I'll come in and bury the extra wire. Oops, sorry for my dogs. I have one in here with me. So that must be my mailman just came. Shh, Makita, it's okay. It's okay. It's all good. I know. Alright, so there's one. Makita, hey. Shh, it's okay. It's okay. Hopefully I've got enough on this one. Try not to make that as long. Hopefully I didn't cut myself short here. Actually, to be able to sit in here and actually create something is a godsend today. Again, for those of you that know me, you know how much I hate October. My daughter on the 1st of October, wow, 1921, 2, 3, 5 years ago, was at a concert in Vegas, and that is where the mass shooting happened into that concert that she was at. Thank goodness she made it home. Her and her boyfriend and all of their friends made it out of there. But that was just a weird thing because the night before she was on the right side of the stage, and something she said before the show told her to get on the other side of the stage. Had she had been on that side of the stage, she may not have made it home. So I thank God for that. And then October 16th is when my mom died, which was yesterday. And then October 24th will be the anniversary of my dad dying, and he died 11 years before my mom. And on the 30th is the anniversary of my sister passing, and she died exactly 2 weeks after my mom. So I hate October. You know, it was when my marriage kind of crumbled. It's when I lost my job because my mom had a stroke and she moved in with me, and she started to get worse. And I worked in the emergency room at a hospital, and they wouldn't give me time off to take care of her. So literally, I brought her into the emergency room one night and had them keep an eye on her, and I was able to keep an eye on her for the whole night because she wasn't doing good. And I said, you know what? If you're not going to give me the night off, then I'm bringing my mom in. And I did. Unfortunately, my mom passed away about 2 weeks later, and I didn't go back to work. I was like, I'm done. I can't be with people like that. And it was just a huge mess. And then I just kind of been roaming around for quite a few years after that, doing my own thing. I went back to work at Michael's because I had a friend that was a co-manager back then and needed help for the Christmas season. And then I ended up staying there for about 1.5 years and realized how much I hate retail. So when COVID hit is when I started my latest business, and now I'm home and I'm happy. I'm much happier. And COVID is when I started making my first clay videos because I had nothing to do. You know, I had no work. We were all on lockdown, and it was like, what am I going to do with my time? So I started getting on here, making things out of clay, and I thought, you know what? Let's see if people want to watch what I do. And that kind of grew from there. And then the making of the, I don't know why I left this together. I just hate wasting wires, so that's why I've got it like that. But anyways, everything just kind of took off. I got some equipment to make my own cutters. And I wanted to be the Amazon of clay cutters because I was tired of waiting weeks for my orders to get here. I mean, there was one company that I waited months, and that was just, to me, unacceptable. And it was like, that's it. So I started creating my own and then started selling them, and my cutters usually ship the same day you order. If not, they're usually out within a day, unless it's a really big order. Then it takes me a couple of days. I'm not huge. It's only me that's running the business. My kids are all grown up and out of the house. I have a son that comes home on the weekends for school. He's in a tech school. And yeah, so it's just me running it all, which I guess is good, because too many hands is never fun in a business, and especially when it's family, because then there's always like an argument. And yeah, I kind of like just doing it on my own. And this, well, today is the first day on this. It's just getting rid of beads that I have, instead of storing them and ooh and eyeing them all the time, to finally use them. Now, if I really like what I make, well, then I may end up keeping it and making another one for sale. But the goal of this is just to get rid of some beads and to promote my Me and the Mutts check page. Because I've got some really pretty glass beads, guys. I've got so many. So if I can show you how to use them, maybe you'll be interested in buying some of them. Because half of the time when I buy beads, my first question is, oh, those are beautiful. How would you use them? So I'm hoping to be able to teach people how to use them so they can make beautiful things. Okay, so again, this necklace might just be really easy. I'm not sure if I want to put any black beads in here. So really quick, let me grab a bead board, and I'm going to push these aside, and let's see how we're going to hook this up. I'll be right back. So we're back, and I found another bead box, so I may have to do that a little later today. So I don't know where I'm going to put this. I don't have a whole lot of room here on my desk. So we have 4 of these, right? I thought I made 4 of these. Oh, I may have to make one more. I really thought I had 4 of these made. So let me kind of peek under here. If I can't find them, that means I only have 3. So I either lost one or I only made 3 of these. So let me hit pause, see if I can find it, and again, I'll be right back. Okay, so I didn't make it. So I'm looking at this wonderful chain here. Actually, I'm looking at both of them. Where's the other one I had? So if I can just use one, that would be great. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have enough on this one. And I think this would look good as a bracelet. So I've got a knot in this one. I'm curious with this coating if it's going to last for a long time, or is it something that is going to end up tarnishing and stuff like that. I know nothing about this chain. So we're just going to put this up here. Okay, so this is what I came up with. So, do I have any moons that came in here? Let's see, what else do we have? So I can use a couple stars on their own if I have enough. So I have 1, 2. All I have left is 2. Yeah, see how sparkly it is? It is now. It's like, I want to keep it sparkly, but I only have 2 more. So I was thinking of putting like just a wire wrap, like a star right there, and then do those. And then it would have been nice to be able to do maybe 2 stars there. But that is not going to happen because I don't have enough stars. So that's not fun when you design something and that happens. And I don't want to use hearts because it just takes out that whole vibe of Halloween by putting in hearts. Now I do have a skull. Alright, so why don't we do that? Please tell me I have more than 1 skull. If not, I could do something like that. I don't like that. Yeah, this is why I hate designing. There's just, sometimes I can get them to come together really nice, and other times it's just so difficult for me. And I only have 1. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, but you know, the orange I don't like with it. I mean, I could use crystal, but this just seems to take away from what I'm doing. Okay, so I do think I might have some of these skulls in my stash from other boxes. So I'm going to look one more time and make sure I don't have any more of these. And it doesn't look that I do. So let me go see if I can pull up one more of these. It might not be the same color, but let me grab one more of these and I'll be right back. Alright, well there's nothing worse than knowing that you have beads that are perfect for that and then you just can't find them. But what I did find was some lava beads. That I could put in there. I have some 8mm and I have some 6mm. So that just kind of changed things around. And I have these star barrels. But no, I don't think those are going to be okay with those. Because it's kind of like a dainty necklace the way it is. And then I found these skulls. So this is, guys, what happens when you have way too many beads. Yeah, see. Those are just huge. And I know that I have these. I know that I have them. So. And I have these hematite spacers. So let's pull these out. And then we're just gonna figure something out. I don't quite know what yet, but I mean, I'm short 1 skull and like, what, 2 stars? So that's kind of aggravating. So I might as well keep these guys out. And what happens if we just wrap some of these here? So let's go ahead and pull a little more of this. I'm not really organized today, I'm sorry. I can't say I'm ever really organized, but when it comes to beads, I've got so many that it just kind of gets all over the place. See, then I have these as well. So, I mean, I could do that as well. Alright, we're going to rethink this here. So Let's see what we can do. We're going to make a couple of these, and then I'll decide which one I like better. I hate the fact that I'm working outside of the box, because if you guys have this box and you don't have whatever extra beads that I'm using from my stash, then you're not going to be able to make this. So I'm sorry about that. Sorry about my dogs too. My mailman picks up my packages off my porch. So yeah, see, those are just boring. Right, so we're going to do that. I think we're going to pull these off. And we're going to leave them kind of exactly how they are. Meaning we're going to use... didn't quite take that off very well. We're going to use 3 of the small ones here. And then we'll use the big one. And 3 of the small ones. And that is probably going to be 1 necklace out of this box. And then I'll have to figure out what to do with the rest of it. I mean, I can make little earrings by just taking like a pumpkin and one of these black beads and putting them together. So I can make simple stuff. I just have a hard time making real intricate. Throw this in there, throw this in there. It's like I don't have the... I don't know. Sometimes I just don't have that in me. You know, I see people take things out of their packages and go, oh, I know what I'm going to do with this. I know what I'm going to do with this. And they've got ideas that just come spurting out of anything. And it drives me crazy because I can't seem to get to that point. Which is why I don't post jewelry very often. So this is all new to me. And I hope you like it. And I hope it gives me confidence to just keep doing this. Because not only am I doing it, I guess, for everybody else, I'm mainly doing it for me. Because it's going to push me to create. And I picked the perfect day to start. I don't have any more orders to work on. And so it's like perfect day to do this. So I'm just going to go through a lot of my past bead boxes. And if I get ideas, I'm just going to start recording and making. And I'll have jewelry tutorials up the wazoo for a while. Alright, so this is a little short. Of course it is. So let's go ahead and save that for something else that I can use. Aha! Here's a piece just waiting for me. And again, I'm just doing 2 wraps so that the wraps aren't really long. And then again, I clean it up after the beads are on it. It's just easier to tuck them in. So how many of these have I made? I think I was going to make 4 of them. So you don't have to watch the rest of them. I'm going to go ahead and hit pause one more time. I'm going to make the other 2 of these. And then I will be back to assemble. So I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, so we are back. And I really wanted to use that chain again for the rest of the stuff. but unfortunately we don't have enough. So we have to improvise here. So out of all these colors, I could either go silver, I could go gold. So we're just taking small 18 gauge jump rings so that they're thick and hopefully they won't open up as easy as a 20. I'm just going to pour a bunch of those out. And this is definitely stainless steel wire because it was pretty hard to cut with just a regular plier or a regular wire cutter. So it has to be stainless steel. So you might want to use like wire cutters for memory wire to do this. Make sure you have a really nice set of tools. Mine are getting a little old and out of shape, so they're not gripping like they should. Okay, so I am going to use one of the wires, or one of the jump rings that came with this. But yeah, again, I was short like 2. So that seems to be a theme right now. And I cut the chain at 2 inches. So we're going to see how this works. I think it was this one. And where's my other piece of chain that's already cut? Yeah, I don't know which one of these pliers is good and which one isn't. Alright, so we're going to see how well these look being 2 inches. I think it's this one that's giving me a hard time. So we're just going to use a bent nose for now. Okay, so there we go. So if we do 2 inches and put this right here, and then 2 inches and maybe just one more. So I may not need these. These could be earrings. We could take 2 of these and just hang them together. Or I can cut these down to 1 inch. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. That would give me 8. 10 and a half. 12 and a half. 13. 14, 15. I'm going to cut a couple of these at 1 inch. And just to see if I like that a little better. And I gotta find some good wire cutters. Which I think these are memory wire cutters, so hopefully this will work a little easier. Ooh, so 1 inch is right there. So I'd be starting that really, really close to it. So I'm not sure if I like that either. I mean, I could go 1.5 inches. So this is where it all comes into play, right? Okay, so if I do 1 inch, I'd have to cut it about right here. I don't know how well these cutters are going to work. because of where they are. Well, it worked pretty darn good. Okay, so this was about 1 inch. So let me take this off. And again, if this works better, then I'm going to hit pause and cut a few of these strips. See, this is another, as you can see, when you close it, they're not closing all the way. So this is why you got to really get yourself really good tools, because some of these, they just don't work for very long. They bend, so that's probably why I'm struggling a little bit with these. Okay, so we're going to pull that off. We're going to put this on. Okay. And then we're going to take a gold. I'm not going to take off that other one yet until I see if I like this one better. I have so many different brands of pliers. I used to own Lindstrom, but it just seems so expensive, and mine didn't last as long as I thought it would. So I didn't want to put up $50 for a pair of pliers, because I'm basically rough on tools. Okay, so now we have this. So let's see which one I like better. So there's the long one, and there's with the inch. I think I like the inch better. Okay, so I'm going to cut a bunch of these in half, and I will be right back.